And now, welcome to the Great Cigar and Pipe Show. Presented by Hiram and Solomon Cigars. And also the Oliva Cigar family. Coming to you live from the Corona Cigar Company studios.
I am a blues man. I live this life.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Great Cigar and Pipe Show. I'm pretty excited tonight. It's Ladies' Night, and we always try to do that once a month, and we got two spectacular women coming on, and we're excited to hear our special guest story, and Jerah is going to set that all up with you guys. But in the meantime, I'd like to ask you all, please hit the share button. Hit the share button. Let's get everybody to know these women out there and have some fun with them, and I think we're going to have a good time, guys. We have a little special guest here to my right, but let me introduce ourselves. I'm Ronnie Pecorini. This is Kyle Jesso.
Good evening, everyone.
Down there is my brother, retired Bob.
Welcome back.
And the one, the only, the chooch master himself, Cousin Frank.
Buonasera.
Oh, buonasera. I thought that was next week, but that's okay tonight. and to my special right here, the president of the Chicago Pipe Club, Mr. Tim Garrity.
Hola.
Hola. Oh, man, we got all the languages going. We got buonasera, hola.
Buonasera,
There you go. How do you say that in Irish?
Buonasera?
No, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Say hi. You can say top of the morning.
Top of the morning, give me a Guinness.
You know?
Anyway, folks, again, hit the share button. We're going to have an exciting guest tonight, and really, you're going to learn a lot, and we're really excited. It's going to be her first time on the show, so we're excited as you guys will be. But in the meantime, I hope everything is doing well. We do have a little bit of a special kind of announcements here in the beginning. A little bit different than our norm. You know, we normally bust each other's chops and everything. We have some fun and laughs. But we're on a serious note right now. And what I like to talk about.
Serious. We're nothing but we're not serious.
For right now, we could be
everything
serious.
but serious.
You know, because this actually is very important. There's a fight on with the FDA, as you all know. And
got some patties.
We do.
These guys never have patties.
Well,
You're losing mic privileges for
that's
second.
it. Don't let him talk anymore. On a serious note, the FDA has been trying to come down really hard on cigars and pipe tobacco and all. And we have four very good people, friends of ours, that are down in D.C. today. And tomorrow there's going to be a lot of action with them. And I'm going to read something about what's going on and what they're fighting for. And, well, let's introduce who we have. We have the president, Armin Caprielian. He's the president of the BCA. We're going to have the treasurer, Dr. Gabby Caffey of Caffey 1901. The secretary of the BCA is J.J. Jordan. And also a marketing executive from Cigar Box Marketing, Kathy Paterni, along with many, many others that are going to fight for all of us so that we can enjoy our cigars and pipe tobacco. And this is a big fight, and they're taking it right to everyone who wants to stop us, who wants to change. But they're in good company, and they're going to fight for us. So basically what their agenda is going to be is they're going to have a meeting first thing in the morning with the Dominican Republic Embassy to talk about the international jobs as well as domestic jobs. After that, they're going to do a session with the Cigar Congressional Caucus, where the Boutique Cigar Association will be speaking on behalf of all the members of the BCA. They will be representing the interest of small family-owned boutique cigar manufacturers so that these 60, and I said 60, congressmen and women will understand the magnitude of the effects of the pending FDA regulations. They will then be meeting with the Small Business Administration so that once again, we can touch base about the small business effects of the FDA regulations and what that means on the local and state level. And then they'll wind up by basically, last but not least, we'll have a meeting with the Food and Drug Administration to go over not only the domestic FDA regulations on premium cigars, but also suggest regulations on premium cigar factories in foreign countries. They will be making very clear to them that if this proceeds as planned, many family-owned boutique cigar companies will be going out of business. And this is something, folks, that we cannot allow this government to do. All right. We all need to fight.
Yep.
And you need to talk to your representatives because it's starting over again.
Yep.
We had a little betrayal, but it's time to fight again. This administration is so anti-tobacco.
Beastie Boys said it best. You got to fight for your right to party.
That's right.
It's about freedom. It's about freedom. That's what it comes down to. You know, we should have the right to choose how we live our lives.
100%.
You know? So,
100%.
and they're not thinking about, like, we're talking boutique cigars. They're looking at low-hanging fruit. They think it's, you know, no impact. It's going to have a dramatic impact on the lives.
Well, it's the entire cigar industry. The premium cigars. Right now, these 4 boutique cigar representatives are there to fight really for everybody.
Yep.
But of course, they're fighting for the little guy. And there will be also major representatives from the big guys out there. So this is just a note because, as you'll know, we do a lot for media for the BCA. We're honored to be part of their social media, and we know a lot of them. They're friends. They're people that we know. We want them to succeed. And again, anything that we can do to save this industry is what we're here to do. And we're asking you to please notify your representatives. Tell them what's going on. Tell them how you feel. We need everybody in this fight, okay? It's starting up again. This administration hates tobacco. We're going to show them that the people out there love tobacco. The adults can make their own decisions, all right? We know this is not the kids and vapes, all right? This is about adults who know what's going on. And even in the pipe world, which Tim could talk about deeply as the president, this is everything.
We're a community. We're a community. And although some might think that boutique cigars and pipes have nothing to do with one another, you go after one, you're just weakening the foundation for all of us. So, I mean, look, you know, my representative does nothing all year long, so they can deal with a short little email just saying, please, you know, allow me my freedom. That's all I'm asking. Just allow me my freedom to go to my local brick and mortar and get a cigar, get a pipe, get some tobacco, and just allow me to exist.
That's all. And we should be allowed to exist. Think about it. It's not just some of the things I mentioned to you we're going to lose out. Think about your brick and mortar. All right, your retail shops. What about the guy who makes the boxes, the labels, the sales reps? This is worldwide people in this industry. We're talking about millions of jobs who can be lost because of this ridiculous administration and their hate for tobacco. So everybody listening, pass the word, get around. All right, let's send good kudos to the BCA representatives. Get on their website, go on their Facebook page. Reach out to them, show them their support and love, and they are doing everything that they can to give you the rights that Tim had mentioned. So join on board, folks, and I appreciate this time. You know, Bob and I and Frank pretty much been smoking for a very long time, but there are a lot of people out there who are smoking even longer than us. So, Tim, would you like to talk about the Chicago Pipe Club and Show?
Yeah, we've had a lot of, you know, we've been spending the whole summer trying to put the next show together. Just a general informative piece. We do a lot of work putting a show together. It's a lot of money. We are all volunteers putting a show together so that our community can have a place to come, congregate, and, you know, basically share fellowship of the leaf. So where individuals can come, share tobacco, and just be together with like-minded people. Now, I'm also very honored to finally be able to make, you know, an announcement on your show This is a big deal to, for those of us who've been trying to get the show into the 20th century, and I say the 20th because we still got 100 years to catch up. Basically, Ron has stepped forward and volunteered to be the next show director for the Chicago International Pipe and Tobacco Show. And the club voted on it. And once the board approves, Ronnie is the next director of the Chicago Pipe Show. I'm very honored we can finally get something done to put forward.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. And it is an honor to follow the path of the last 25 years of who Frank, who created all this years ago, and it is an honor, and I'm looking very forward to getting show 2024, and Tim and I will be working hard to make it the next show the best possible for you. As you know, we still like to say we're the biggest and largest in the world, except for China, but that's only because they have all their people that
they have a garage sale bigger than ours. I'm just saying.
So yeah, we'll be keeping you updated with everything that's going on, and I appreciate all the support. The club members have been spectacular, and also we're going to have my sidekick here.
There's no sidekick. I will shoot you in your mouth.
That will be
so hard.
Oh, you don't think is the official? No, she's the official enforcer.
Yeah,
you're not an enforcer. Jerah, she just shows up one day.
The enforcer. Yes, she
like
is.
Luca Brasi.
You're already on.
You don't even expect her.
Oh no, you are, and Frank. But Kyle Jesso also is just going to become the
interim.
Until in a couple of weeks, he'll be also the new treasurer for the club and obviously for the show. So there's a lot of changes out there for everybody who's listening. And like Tim said, we're stepping it up. We're going to be.
We got a lot of ground to make up, and we owe it to our community to make this show what it's always been, and that is the best show we can possibly put out there for our whole community. And I also extend that to the cigar community, because all of us pretty much enjoy a good stick once in a while, more so than others. But the thing is that I'm very passionate about one thing when it comes to the Fellowship of the Leaf. What's going on in our government is basically whittling away at our freedoms. And some people go, well, that's cigars. I smoke a pipe. No one's ever going to come after me until they do. And if we stand together as a united front, these deadbeats in Washington who do nothing, all year long, finally have to listen. There's strength in numbers. So, for those in our pipe community, it's a very simple thing to get involved. Send a quick little email. Let these people know, hey, this is my freedom.
Correct.
And I vote.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
So
your voice should be heard and will be heard. So again, thank you to all the BCA members that are down there in Washington that are fighting for us.
Humble.
Well, all right. Thank you for the nomination and for the job. I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah.
But
you're going to be killing people later on because
that's all right. Depends how they want to die.
Ankles.
But anyway, yes, thank you everybody that is going to Washington to fight for us, for our rights and our freedom and our enjoyment. So right now, basically, thank you for listening, and we're going to go to our sponsors. And when we come back, we're going to have our co-host Jerah on, and she'll be introducing Jerah on.
Ron, before we go to
go ahead, Frank.
Real quick, I just want to let everyone know we have a special monthly giveaway from the folks over at Reminisce Angus Beef and Cattle Baron Cigars, and also Gorgeous Vodka. So we will be giving away today steaks.
No
steaks today. We'll be giving away.
I'm still hungry.
We'll be giving away a beautiful bottle of vodka and a 5-pack sampler of Cattle Baron cigars.
Wow.
So
I like that bottle. It's shaped like Mae West.
Beautiful, right? So, and how we're going to give that away is, folks, I am going to write a number on this notepad. Okay? And it's going to be a number between 1 and 20. and you just have to guess the correct number.
Is this like the old
And
Johnny
so-
Carson skit?
It's like the old guess the number. I'll flip the old pad, and you will be the proud new owner of a bottle of vodka and a 5-pack sampler, courtesy of Reminisce Angus Beef, Cattle Baron Cigars, and Gorgeous Vodka, folks. So
open to me
what
too.
that deal?
Can I
So-
get on
all
there?
right.
And this is going to be
Okay.
a monthly
Got it.
deal,
All
the
right.
last show of each month, folks.
Hold on. Everyone that's writing numbers now, he hasn't written a number down yet. So
That's
y'all
right.
are chooches. Those are all chooch answers right now.
don't write your number yet, guys. I'm not giving away anything.
Frank
yet.
hasn't even thought about it
You
yet.
guys are too fast. I'm sure you'll want to take all those numbers back and then regroup. Because when I ask you the number is when you give me the number. I know everybody wants to win shit, but you gotta wait. You
I
gotta
know.
wait.
You know, you got Orlando jumping in, you got
Oh, yeah,
Justin,
Bruce.
you got the Earthly
Yeah.
Bruce. So yeah,
everyone.
those numbers are not going to get called out.
they're
Don't
null-
say
they're
you
null
wrote
and
it first
void.
because it's not going to cut out. No, definitely.
It's now a number between 1 and
Boy.
100.
Oh my God, what a bunch of cheaters we have
So-
here.
so
yeah.
Let's get rid of them. Let's go to
No,
our
no, 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 no. Let's
sponsors.
get their numbers. It's going to be, they're going to say G. That's the number they're going to pick.
G,
G.
okay.
I picked the number G.
All right,
right.
folks. And we'll be back with Jerah and Cynn, and maybe her husband might show up. You never know.
I have a feeling he's going to be there.
He might
Hold
surprise
on, let me do Johnny Carson. See you
We'll
right
be
back here,
right
folks.
after this, folks.
Howard G Cigars.
Look, I didn't
Howard
jump in
G
like that.
Cigars is a dynamic new cigar brand grown from a love for cigar culture and a respect for the artisanship behind the craft. We are a minority-owned family business based in Orlando, Florida. Our current collection delivers 3 exclusive lines: Black Moses, Magic Stick, All Pro Series, featuring Leon Searcy's signature cigar and Ike Taylor's one-of-a-kind.
You got the one-of-a-kind rankings. They got me at 89. I'm cool with that.
We are focused on evolving as a dynamic brand and bringing you new flavor-filled blends that you'll enjoy and want to share. Visit our website at www.howardgcigars.com. You can find a full list of our retail partners there too. Thank you for making us part of your humidor.
This is Phil Morgan, General Manager of Missouri Meerschaum Corncob Pipes in Washington, Missouri. Our mission since 1869 has been to produce great smoking pipes that anyone can afford. We guarantee our pipes won't be your most expensive, but they just might be the ones you smoke the most. At Missouri Meerschaum Company, we don't just sell our corncob pipes, we grow them, make them, and smoke them. Missouri Meerschaum, Washington, Missouri, since 1869.
Loyalty, passion, courage. These are the founding principles of K by Karen Berger Cigars. The Maduro, the Habano, and the newly rated 93 by Cigar Journal Connecticut. Do yourself a favor and check out this wonderful line of cigars that come from a completely linear company from seed to your hands. Blue Smoke Atlanta is the vision of Robin Blue, founder and CEO, and represents an award-winning luxury smoking accessory line based in Atlanta and sold worldwide. Since 2019, Blue Smoke Atlanta's goal was to redefine traditional smoking accessories into a timeless collection of exquisitely handcrafted luxury products to include cigar pokers, cannabis clips, jewelry, and other awesome things. For an elevated smoking experience, visit us at www.bluesmokeatl.com.
At Mountain Smoke Premium Tobacco, we specialize solely in the finest hand-rolled, craft, and boutique cigars on the market. Mountain Smoke Premium Tobacco is sure to have something that will excite you. Shop our online humidor at www.mountainsmokewd.com.
A family of 4 generations in tobacco. It started in Odense, Denmark, 141 years ago, 1882, with a factory and a retail store by Eric Peter Stokeby. 4th Generation is a premium quality brand consisting of a selection of tin and loose tobaccos made in Denmark, pipes made of the finest quality briar, and superior accessories from leather goods, lighters, and pipe tools. The selection of 4th Generation products are available in premium pipe and cigar stores in the US and many European countries. Check out 4thGenPipeTobacco.com.
Now we are back.
Yes, we
You
are
always
back.
go too fast,
I
right?
always, I'm so fast. I'm sorry. But you know what, folks? Hit the share button. Please hit the share button. And Frank, you want to introduce our co-host and take it away from there?
Of course, the lovely green, curly-headed Jerah Hutchins.
You know, women pay a lot of money to have that hairdo.
God, I hate you, Frank.
I told you the red dots on you right there, Frank.
I hate you, Frank.
That's in the chamber.
So I'm at Look Cinemas. That's where I'm at. I heard you guys talking about, where am I in my green room here? And I'm at Look Cinemas, and there's a really cool event going on with Matt Osborne, who's the president of Operation Underground Railroad, right? So that's the nonprofit that Matt Ballard started when he started rescuing kids with human trafficking. So the whole premise of Sound of Freedom movie. So Matt Osborne is here, and I got to meet with him and talk with him. And so that's why I'm, in this different space. So it was really kind of an honor to be able to meet him. He's actually gone on so many human trafficking missions that he can't go to certain countries anymore. Like they won't allow him in. Because it's pretty crazy. And then they're actually doing a showing of the documentary for Operation Underground Railroad called Triple Take. So, but I decided I wanted to be with you guys, and I wanted to be with Cynn instead. So I'll just, I'll watch the movie later.
It's more to be with Cynn because she don't want to be with us guys.
Yeah.
No way. We know that because she wants to kill Frank in the bad way.
Whoa.
And you're on her bad list too. Bobby Baby over there is doing all right himself. But go ahead, Jared, take it away.
Yeah. So our guest tonight is, I'm super excited about this. I got to connect with her yesterday, and we had a really great conversation. Such an interesting woman, such an interesting life. So she is an entrepreneur, owner of Dissident Cigars. She's an abuse survivor. She's a philanthropist, and she is currently featured in this month's issue of Ballistic Magazine. Welcome to the show, Cynn Coburn and husband Josh.
Oh, listen to that.
Can we do that again? Let's do that again. She deserves one more time. Hit it.
Come on.
One more time.
So we were actually, when we were talking yesterday, we figured out that we actually have quite a few mutual friends because Josh does all the social media for Brownells, and I know Roy Hill really well. So he comes out and with his famous margaritas to a lot of the shooting events. So super pro 2A people. Love you guys for that. So I know that we're here to talk about Dissident Cigars, but really the first thing I really want to ask you is about this sort of philanthropic land that you donated to this charity in Nicaragua. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So we bought a bunch of land about, was it 2 years ago now?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and we originally had intentions of building a home on it, and then it just kind of sat there. And for those of you that don't know, we do a lot of work with a nonprofit here called SOS Animales Nicaragua, and they essentially help to get dogs off the streets, help to sterilize the dogs and the cats that are here, reduce the population, get rid of disease, cancers, all that. But really, this is still a third world country, and what it takes to get these animals off the streets is a lot more than what we can do without a sanctuary. And so with our land sitting there, it just felt wasteful to me. I don't know. I didn't like that our land was just sitting there and we owned it and weren't doing anything with it. So I offered it up to the owner of SOS Animales to see if they wanted to build a sanctuary there, and they took it up right away. So super excited about that. So we're working on building this beautiful sanctuary. They're going to do like puppy yoga. So like, there's just like all these cool things that you can do there. Yeah. It's pretty funny because we bought this land, and it's on the top of a mountain and it overlooks the ocean and the Bay of San Juan, and here is an animal sanctuary instead that's being built on it. So like it's kind of cool. Like the dogs and cats are gonna have an awesome view of everything.
Well, they can smoke their cigars with that view too. Look at that.
Yeah, I love that so much. Well, I know that retired Bob and cousin Frank smoked a soapbox today, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And we're smoking
they've got some.
Yeah, we have great
Josh
things
got it right
with the
now.
Soapbox. What a fantastic cigar as a first cigar that we've ever smoked from your line.
Yeah.
It blew us
Very
away,
good, very
literally, because we were like, this is really interesting. What was nice was it was super flavorful, and it took us on a little bit of a journey. It took me kind of on a journey through a bakery. At some point, I felt like I went to a French bakery and had that smell of French bread kind of cooking, and it was just super smooth and creamy. Fantastic cigar. And then we moved and started smoking your Revolt, which is brand new. And you said, well, that's based on the Home. And you said that Home was a little bit too strong for people. And we started smoking this barber pole. And I'll tell you, Bob, I go, his first retrohale, he was like, whoa, this is not for the mild.
I got no more nose hair.
I mean, it's still a bold cigar.
It's
It
bold.
is.
So we're looking forward to smoking the Home because we love bold. So it was fantastic. And what I got with Bob was when we immediately took it out of the solo, it had a lot of what I'll call a floral.
Very floral in smell.
And floral and barnyard.
Yeah.
So if you can imagine, outside.
Flowers growing outside the barn?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay, I'll take that.
Until you
Well,
smoke it. You're like, "Oh."
I could tell that Frank loved it because they were on Instagram Live a little earlier this afternoon, and they were ragging on our boy Joey. And then, like right in the middle of the ragging, Frank goes, "Ooh, cinnamon."
Yeah.
I freaking,
That's awesome.
I was literally drying my hair, and I heard it, and I was like, I started laughing. I was like, "You guys are freaking weird." Ooh, cinnamon. Cinnamon.
Well, it's not
So I can't
velvety
wait
at
to-
least.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on a few. I'm gonna have to find like a DFW location that carries those. So
Yeah, there's.
is
quite
that
a
on the
few.
website? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So so the ballistic. So tell us a little bit about the gun stuff, like guns and cigars. I feel like they go together. I smoke and shoot all the time, but like, how did you guys get into it?
Oh, perfect. You guys got some awesome pictures. Yeah. So we've been in the firearm industry for a number of years. Josh specifically, he's been in the firearm industry for about 20?
22, something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been over 20 now. And I was always years prior, I was a military wife in the Army. And so, of course, like I've always, and then I was in ROTC. So, 2A has always been a big deal to me and obviously to Josh. And, that grew, especially me as a military wife. I was at Fort Hood during the 2009 massacre.
Wow.
Oh my
And
God.
I lived on post during that. And, the news was saying there was multiple shooters and they were, in the villages and everything. And I had kids at the time. And I immediately shoved my kids in the closet, got out all our firearms. And I was posted up, in my house, ready. I knew everything. It's crazy. People talk about fight or flight and you don't know what you are. You think you know what you are, but you never really tested sometimes on what you are. And I realized really quick that I'm fight 1000%. And that really made me proud of myself because I proved to myself I was what I thought I was in my head.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah. And, in the end, it ended up being one shooter. But, when you're living in fear for hours based off of what the news is saying, which obviously is not always accurate, and we won't get into that, but, they were saying multiple shooters and I was ready to do whatever I could to protect my kids. And, From there it just grew even more. So I got my concealed carry permit, and I became a single mom, and there was no way in hell I was going to be walking around without the ability to protect my kids. So that's always been a big deal to me. You can be on whatever side you want to be on, but when you confront somebody who's been there, done that, and has been forced to live in those shoes, you can't argue with someone where that it's only you have to protect yourself. The cops aren't going to show up in time.
100%. And I've never really understood how guns and the Second Amendment fell into party politics at all, because I think everyone should appreciate the fact that we live in a country that allows us the ability to carry and the ability for self-defense. And I never understood how it became so controversial at all.
Yeah, and ultimately you start taking away that right, and people they're fighting, and they don't care if this two-way right gets taken away, but they don't understand that if that right goes away, so does all the other rights. You know what I mean? This is a fight for all of our rights. This isn't just about two-way, but two-way is what our country is about. Like criminals don't listen to no gun signs.
No.
You protect yourself.
And so if you don't have the physical ability to defend your rights, they go away. It doesn't matter if you're in the LGBTQ community. It doesn't matter if you're in the straight community, white, black, nothing. It doesn't matter. It's you should have the ability to respond if somebody's trying to kill you or beat the shit out of you for something that you believe in, or someone that you love, or whatever. And so, I love that. I didn't know that about you coming into this, and I'm just really happy that I discovered it, because I think that's so important, just in everyday life.
Yeah. And what's crazy too is, we always told ourselves that in the U.S. we wouldn't live in a state that wasn't pro 2A, and then here we are in Nicaragua. Which we can't get into politics too much with Nicaragua, but they do not allow firearms. And that was a huge deal for us. But I will tell you, we have a lot of machetes in our house.
In every room.
That still has to be hard not to have able to protect yourself with the proper equipment.
As the man of the house, so to speak, as toxically masculine as that may be to say these days, frankly, I don't give a shit, number one. But number two,
on this show, you can say anything you want. We're with you. We're on the same page.
So, as the man of the house, it sucks to some degree, but culturally, things are different.
Right.
The foundation of the United States is based on what our founding fathers wrote down, with the understanding of where they came from and what they want.
Yeah.
And
Thomas Jefferson. That's all I'll say. TJ knew.
Yep.
The second makes all the others possible. Without the second, your freedom of speech means nothing.
Correct.
Proven over and over by history.
Yep.
Proven over and over by history.
Yep. 100%.
And I want to talk about real quick just how dissident we are, because I stated earlier that I was not going to have a cigar because I was inside in the bedroom.
Yeah. And he's got a cigar in the bedroom.
Out of control.
Well, he is the man of the house.
Master of the house.
So now you can have a smoke. Well, let her smoke. Can she smoke now if she wants to smoke?
She can have as many cigars anywhere she wants.
I'm just not close to a cigar. That's the problem. All of our cigars are in our bar, which is like outside at our pool. For those of you haven't seen our house is set up very Nicaraguan. It's 2 buildings, and we have a pool that's in ground, and then there's a bar built into our pool.
Nice.
That's where we keep all of our cigars. So it's kind of cool.
So Josh, in a moment, you're gonna be the pool butler boy.
Oh, Cabana boy.
Cabana boy, I need a cigar.
He'll be feeding me avocados instead of grapes, though.
All I heard was pool with bar, and so I'm gonna go home and pack, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm on my way to Nicaragua. I'm on my way. So Roy Hill can vouch for me. I'm a great roommate.
And you know what's crazy is I can guarantee you what we pay here is probably like way less than America right now. And I kind of feel bad, but also like I love where we live and I'm very grateful for where we live. You know,
She doesn't feel that.
I mean, we've been out of America for 2 years, and so we're only seeing bits and pieces, and we see like, I mean, I go to America maybe once a month, once every 2 months, and I walk into a grocery store and I bet you any money people look at me like I am crazy because I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
First
you see the
of all,
prices.
Oh, not even the prices. It's like overstimulation because there's like 50 of the same thing, like, different names. And then there's like music playing and everything's like perfectly laid out. And like the price, $7 for Doritos?
Oh,
What is
yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
That's Las Vegas pricing, I guess you're talking about.
Don't even get me started on Vegas when we're at PC.
I want it.
Wow.
Let's get her blood boiling. Let's go. Let's go. Well, you probably spent there in a week. You probably did that in a year. Yeah. Vegas is crazy.
$25 for a Jack and Coke? Like a little.
Yeah.
Freedom isn't free.
Gouging. Yeah, a little gouging.
All right.
Yeah.
She'd rather be sober at that point.
At our show,
I'm sitting here drinking 27-cent Cokes and a pour, like $1.50 pour of whiskey. So life ain't tough sometimes.
I have a question for both of you.
And
So-
that costs, what, $1.99 for that
Nice.
bottle?
Oh, rum. Love that.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
This is our drink. This
Happy
is the
place.
rum. Yeah.
Okay.
Love it. Love it.
Oh, he left. I
There
guess
we
you're going to
go.
get a
Ooh,
cigar
very nice.
soon. I have a feeling you'll have a cigar
but
in your
I'm
mouth.
Cynn, I got to imagine like in Nicaragua, you must get some of the best cigars possible.
Our own.
So, I mean,
You want to know what's funny? So everybody assumes because you're in Nicaragua that you have easy access to cigars, and that's false. You do not. Nobody smokes cigars here. They are all exported into the United
Wow.
States. So it is so hard to buy cigars. So a lot of people that live in our little town called San Juan del Sur, like word gets around, you know, that we own Dissident. So people will ask if we have any cigars at our house that we'll sell because there is nowhere that sells cigars.
Wow.
And if they do sell cigars, they don't know how to properly humidify it. Their humidor is just whack. We don't have our cigars in any stores here because there's only 2 stores and they don't understand it.
Right.
So sometimes we do sell from our house, but we don't even have that many cigars in our house. We have to like properly plan for that, so that way we can grab them before they get exported to the U.S. So
And by not many, we probably have 1,800 in the house right now.
There you go. When you're running low, Josh, you can always send some our way.
Versus, you know, somebody who doesn't get cigars because they live here. They're like, I want, 20 or I'd like 40 or whatever. You can go through them pretty quick. So it's like, I want a sampler of everything you have. It's like, look, goddammit, I only have fucking 25 of these because we just got them off the roller.
I think it's low because we don't have like the petite Coronas in the soapbox, and that's what I want. So like to me, our stock is low. We gotta go get some more from the factory. So
Yeah, I think my trust in you just went down a little bit, Cynn, because, like not many.
You know what bummed me out though is going to PCA. I only had the ability to leave the booth like once or twice. And so I didn't get to get cigars from other people. And that really bummed me out because we're really big on smoking cigars that are not our own.
Right.
And we don't have any. Like we have no choice but to smoke Dissident. Dissident's great, but I really, really love supporting other brands too. And we don't have that. And it's such a bummer to me. I was stuck at PCA. It sucked.
I was going to are people able to go to the factories and purchase cigars?
No.
Not you.
If you do one of the factory tours, then yes. But the factory tours are limited to maybe like 3 or 4 a year. So really, no, you can't. Bigger companies like Drew Estate and stuff, you can't even walk into their factory.
Right.
Like my father, no. Like you are
really?
not doing any of that. So
This is the
in
stuff you need to
general,
know before you go.
So we have a question by
Know
one of our
before you
listeners.
go.
Chris Eden goes, "Can you order online?"
Yeah,
There are
yeah.
places.
There are lots of lounges that actually sell online, and we really, really appreciate that because. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. We had a large following prior to owning Dissident due to motivational speaking and the firearm industry and stuff. And so there's more people that want to smoke Dissident cigars than there are lounges that carry it. And we're upwards of 200 lounges, but still, when you put that, you know, compared to the U.S. and everything, that's not that many.
Not a big number.
So
No.
we really appreciate the brick and mortar ones that do sell online, because that helps us out substantially, because we just go ahead and just get these people over to those websites to purchase.
And they can have them. Like, if you're on the East Coast, we know who on the East Coast has, you know, will ship to you via their website. So you'll have it a day later anyway. So it's, you know, or East Coast or whatever, you know, so that's huge to us.
Yeah.
Big time. Now, I have a question for you. When you decided to make the move to Nicaragua, how difficult was that?
Okay, so we're odd cats, right? Like, we already know we're very, very different. We're not people that like get tied to things. We're about living life. So when that decision was made, it was actually by our kids. Our kids wanted to move here, and this was prior to the cigar industry.
Interesting.
But when we made that decision, it was very easy for us. We just sold everything. We sold our cars, we sold all of our belongings, and we
sold the house a year before.
Yeah, and we just like packed what we could in like a large suitcase each, and we moved here. And it was so liberating and so freeing to not be tied to anything. We live debt free. You know, we're not tied to anything physical. Like, it is such a freeing feeling to know that like we can just up and leave whenever we want and go try something new. Except for our dogs and our cats. That kind of like
But the nice thing is, really, like, people think about the worst case scenario economically for a family. For us, I mean, shit, like, we could sell everything we have now and have a decent windfall of cash and be set for a little while to figure it out, right? Beyond, you know, whatever nest egg we have or you guys have. So it makes things a little easier being in a place where that dollar stretches farther.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
You know, the hardest thing about living in a country like this is there's, you know, vehicles are more expensive here. Like, we drive a 2006 Toyota Prado, and that costs us $12,000. And there's no loans for that. So you're just forking out that money and paying cold hard cash. So if you can't do stuff like that, then it would make it harder to move to a country like this.
Yeah.
There's a caveat to that, though, because if you don't give a shit about driving a 4-wheeler for $1,800, you can drive that to the capital city and whip around and get your shit done and drive 2.5 hours home on that. Nobody cares.
They do not care what you drive here. We have watched people on motorbikes holding flashlights at night, like
with 4 family members.
Yeah, with like 4 other people on the back, and they're just like this, like driving with that flashlight. The baby's on the front drinking soup. No joke. I watched a baby holding a bowl of soup, drinking from the soup bowl as they were driving down the road.
Okay, it's going. I mean, it just went up 4 points in my book, right there. Okay. 4 points.
It is crazy, but man, that, like, people want to talk about freedom in other countries. The freedom here blows me away because I never expected it. You know, because people have this preconceived notion that it's a certain way here, but their freedom here is actually astronomical. Like, I got pulled over in America for having tinted windows. Like, tinted windows. And the guy like stuck the meter like on my window. He's like, it's this many points, and he's like, you're gonna have to rip this off and take it to the police station. And I'm like, what in the world? But here they do not. If that thing drives from point A to point B, as long as you have a helmet on, they do not care.
And it
You don't need windows.
And it doesn't matter if your emissions look like they're shitty. If your paper says the emissions are good, nobody cares.
Wow.
No, it's awesome just to hear the fact that that level of freedom, you know.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, that's the difference, right? People talk shit all the time online, like, oh, moving to a country like that, yada, yada. I'm like, look, bro, I don't need 4 signatures and an inspector to plant a fucking tree in my backyard. What do you need?
Right.
The
Totally get
difference,
it.
though, is we live in a third world country, so this is the price we pay. If he were to have a heart attack, he's gonna die. That's just something we know. If any of us have some kind of life-threatening thing that's immediate, that's the price we have to pay for this lifestyle. Because there's no number we can call for immediate assistance here, because this is a third world country. So we can't just call up and be like, oh, hey, can we get an ambulance? Ain't gonna happen. They just now got an ambulance here that's from the US. And like, I guarantee there's no supplies in that motherfucker. Like,
That's probably one of the old Ghostbusters.
It's got the lights that work, and that's about it.
It's an expensive Uber.
Yes,
Would be like, what
Well,
the
the
closest
Undertaker.
hospital that could handle an emergency like that is 2.5 hours away.
Oh, wow.
That's scary.
Wow.
So let's hold up here. Let's go to our sponsors, and when we come back, let's
about to
talk
quote
about
Shishak, man.
let's talk about the cigar and how you guys got involved with this. Is that all right? All right, everybody, hit the share button, okay? Frank, let's talk about one more time our new monthly giveaway, because we have a lot of new
folks.
people on here.
Every month we will be giving away, actually, the kind folks over at Cattle Baron Cigars, Reminisce Angus Beef, and Gorgeous Vodka. You will be getting monthly a bottle of vodka and a 5-pack sampler. And all you'll have to do is guess the correct number written on my pad.
The correct number is G.
When I ask for it, not now, not 2 minutes from now. At the end, I will ask. And until then, we will go to our sponsors, and we will be right back after these words.
This industry is steeped in family and tradition. There's generational stuff, and I see it over and over, and yet I didn't come from that. Being the outsider looking in, I got to ask all the silly questions, and people were very accepting to want to give me all the right answers. I'm very thankful for those people who kind of allowed me to come in. Now with Alec and Bradley in the business, to have our company become generational, that's pretty cool.
Welcome to GTO Dominican Cigars, a boutique cigar company that artfully blends and creates some of the finest handmade puros from the Cibao Valley in the Dominican Republic. We are 4th generation manufacturers and growers of tobacco with over 140 years of experience, offering a variety of styles, blends, and strengths. Mild, medium, medium plus, and full-bodied. We would truly consider it an honor for you to experience our cigars. Those who know smoke GTO.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, there's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
Years in the making, the Chief cigar was born, blended, boxed, and released to market on June 26, 2015. This cigar was developed by former fire chief, firefighter, cigar aficionado Ken Dorbecker, and has grown into a signature firehouse cigar line. Including, of course, the Chief, a Nicaraguan Habano blend, Proby, a Connecticut Shade blend, All Hands, a Maduro Mexican San Andreas box press, and the brand new Fire Pole, a beautifully crafted San Andreas Habano barber pole. Join the Chief family and make us part of your humidor. R&A Treasures, out of Tampa Bay, Florida. The last of a legacy. The last of an inventory of Thomas Cristiano in a warehouse where everything is aged and well kept for all your pipe and smoking needs.
And we're back, everyone.
That's why you need me.
Hello,
I give
hello.
you medical advice.
Yeah,
See?
okay.
I know
Bring
it,
Josh
right?
off.
Oh yeah.
Hello,
I'm making
folks.
him get me a cigar.
Hey.
You made him, or did he do it just because he loves you?
He does love me.
There you go.
And I
There
felt
you go.
weird. Like I'm like, okay, yeah, you can get me a cigar.
All right, folks, hit the share button.
Yeah.
To get him.
And we got so much more to go here with our special guest tonight. We're having a lot of fun. So, Jerah, let's take it away. I know you have lots more questions.
She's
and
looking at her
folks,
notepad.
we
Watch out.
are taking some of your questions.
She's
also.
got a notepad.
Oh, she's prepared.
Dude, watch out.
Yeah.
Pen and paper.
She has like names on her hit list.
Yeah.
It's very
Memorize it.
serious.
I was
Yeah.
taking names.
And the first name on my hit list is Frank.
Yes.
What are you going to take him down? What are you going to take him down with? Let's hear how's he going down.
Well,
You
if
can't
I
talk
want him
about
to
that on
be,
air.
if I want to, it depends. Do I want him to be pretty in the casket?
Well said. I'm going to use that.
There isn't a caliber that you could use that'll make me look pretty in a casket. So it doesn't matter. Use whatever you like.
She's creative. I think she could do it. I think that was a challenge.
This is all about. This is about shot placement, Frank.
That's
Okay.
true.
Give him the third eye right up here, right up there.
Yeah.
Third eye. Why not?
100%.
Headshots.
22 cal behind the ear.
There you go. I like Josh.
So tell me
Cilantro.
how Dissident came to be, because you bought it as an existing brand, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dissident's been out since
Like
2013,
2013.
I think. And it was started by like a bunch of like clowns, and I don't say that in a bad way. Like they were a bunch of jokesters, like great,
Yeah,
wonderful
good
guys,
dudes.
like really good guys, and they were just like humorous and wonderful guys. Like they just came together and started this brand. But unfortunately, it didn't really grow a lot. And so they ended up selling it to another gentleman who grew it a little bit more. But we don't know exactly what happened with that because we didn't buy Dissident from the previous guy. Like it was kind of like a secret, like change of hands kind of thing. So we don't know like the full story, but we do know that Dissident's been out since 2013. The original like soapbox, the blend of that has changed significantly, but like in general, Dissident has been out for a long time. It just has not grown the way that it's needed to grow.
Been given the attention it deserves.
Yeah, and it wasn't even originally at the Oveja Negra factory, but since Oveja Negra has taken it over, like the cigars are phenomenal. Like, I mean, anything that comes out of the Oveja Negra factory, I'm already sold on. Like, we were already fans of the Oveja Negra factory. Because they do Black Label Trading Company, Blackworks,
okay.
and Emilio. So all three of those brands come out of there plus Dissident.
Nice.
So we were already like huge fans, and we took a factory tour there back in 2020, and fell in love even more with Oveja Negra. And then when COVID hit, we were originally going to take the kids on vacation here. COVID hit, and that kind of nixed everything because they like canceled all the flights, shut everything down.
Yeah.
So the kids were like, "Well, why don't we just move to Nicaragua?" And we're just like, "Pump the brakes! Like this is you can't just say let's just move to Nicaragua. Like you got to think about this a little bit." So we had them do a bunch of research and like independent research without us. Like we didn't want to influence them on anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they did, and then. Long story short, they did sell all their stuff. They wanted to move out here. They wanted the experience. So we lived out here for about 6, 7, 8 months maybe. And James and Angela that own Oveja Negra, the factory, they knew that Dissident was going to be for sale. And they didn't want to take it. They're like, this is not our baby. You know, the cigars come out of our factory, but this is not a brand that, it just doesn't resonate with us. It's not our baby.
The passion.
Yeah. And they're like, so either we're going to let it drop or we want you to buy it. And I mean, I was sold immediately, but also like the price to own a cigar
Right.
company.
It's not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not even a matter of like IP rights and trademarks and BS. It's the inventory, right?
Exactly.
You gotta create it to get it out there. It's a commodity business. We all know.
The cigar industry is not a cheap industry.
No,
And
no, definitely not.
I'm thankful for the knowledge that we already have and the life that we already lived, and you know how financially responsible we were. So we were able to take about a week and ultimately obviously decided to buy Dissident. And that's all it took. Was really, we knew the brand fit like who we were, but it was just a matter of financially, do we want to take these, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and dump it into this company? And, you know, it's that fear of, is this going to work or is it not? And then Josh is like, put your face on everything.
She knows cigars. She's beautiful. She's smart, and the brand's called fucking Dissident.
Right.
Like there's like, look at us. You know, we walk through airports in countries all over the world, and people stop and stare. Why? Well, because we don't fit in a box, right? You can be in New York City. You can be in Tokyo, Japan. People ask questions. People want photos.
Yeah.
It would be stupid to do anything else, especially when the tattoo industry has been perceived as a bunch of sport coat wearing old dudes, right? And we all know that's not
The
cigar
industry.
Yeah, you know, it's Iranianism. Have a drink. Have a drink. Have a drink.
Drink.
Slancha.
He was in the body modification industry for like 15 years, so I'll give him that.
Yeah, I'm just confused about where I am in time right now. There's a time slip. But yes, it's a bunch of sport coat wearing dudes, according to a lot of people that aren't kind of in the industry or aware of the industry. We see it. We see the change happening.
Absolutely.
And someone's got to be the forefront of that. Drew Estate did a great job of being on the forefront of that several years ago. Props to James Brown. Props to guys like Boofy. Like they're all making changes. But if you hand it to a woman who's got intuition and understanding and knowledge, also that takes no shit, that makes a statement real fast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was pretty adamant about like, put your face on everything, and that really scared me. I was not prepared for that, but I was like, okay. And so I just started like signing everything and then like acting pretty, I don't know. And it worked, like it did really well. But ultimately, you know, what really sells us is the fact that Josh and I come from the motivational speaking side of things. So that has easily crossed over into who we are in the cigar industry.
Right.
And I really appreciate that, because we're not just a brand. Like, we are right there with people, helping them through things, you know, like at PCA, we had, or because Josh wasn't there, I had so many people that sought me out literally just to talk to me because they had a rough month or a rough whatever, or they're going through something. And that meant a lot to me, that they still see that crossover and know that they can still come to us for stuff like that.
Right.
Because we're big with that. Like, Dissident isn't just a cigar brand to us. Like, it's a lifestyle, like, you know, and it's not, people can perceive Dissident as a bad thing. You know, you're being unruly or you're doing whatever, but to us, Dissident means being who you truly are as an individual.
Yeah.
You know, that's about looking the way that you look and being accepted and accepting others for who they are. Just have a kind heart, like, you know, like love
being authentic.
A lot of places.
Yeah.
So so we just kind of like, we ran with that. You know, we knew that we could easily cross over our days in motivational speaking into the cigar industry, help others while also making really good cigars that were kind of already there anyway. And then, you know, just expanding the brand. And that's exactly what we did. You know, like, Dissident originally only had 2 cigars in the core line, and we pushed over some of the small batch into the core line. And then we're just constantly pumping out limited editions and doing different things, making it more art forward and involving the fans in the cigars, like, which is a big deal to me. I don't know if you've heard the story about Revolt, but that was artwork from a fan. Which, you know, it made me really happy to do that, because, you know, he's so stoked. Like, his artwork is on the label and on the box, and we had the ability to do that for him, you know, and I thought that was so cool. Like, so many brands, they look at, and this is nothing against brands, but it's just tradition. You make the cigar and then you listen to the fans after, like, how does that cigar taste? How do, you know, whatever. But we want to involve people during the process on some of these cigars. So we may do like polls, like, hey, what leaf should go with this, or what artwork should go with this, or we may not release the name, but maybe we're going to give you a choice of what name it should be. Or I think it's great to involve people in that process too. It makes it more personable, and like they're more connected. Like they played a part in that, you know. We watched how great that was just within the revolt and how well that worked. We're like, oh man, like we have to keep doing it.
Yeah, you're onto something.
It says punk rock and DIY like a skull with a fucking mohawk.
Right.
And, like, and that's who we are though. Like, we can
need to make the Clash line. They need to make a Clash cigar line. Kick it old school.
You know
Fuck
where
all
our
y'all
head
who don't
is.
like the Clash. You got
You know
problems.
where our head is. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's going to be a London Calling cigar someday.
Right.
Wow, there you go. I
We
like
get
that.
it. We get it. And
Could
we
there be a Chooch cigar
No.
also? Just asking.
No.
Listen,
London Calling. Oh,
London
yeah,
Calling,
man.
I like.
I like
But
it.
the thing is,
I like
You
it.
got me.
I like
it.
That
You
might
see?
be too commercial, right? That might be
Oh.
too commercial.
Okay.
I mean, we're in Nicaragua. Maybe we just name it the Sandinista as a tribute to the
Right.
black.
Dude, I'm liking this guy. I'm liking him. Okay. It's a great album. Great album. I'm listening to it on the way home.
So, Cynn, I have a question for you. When it comes to the blending of the cigars, how involved are you personally?
Oh, yeah. Like
100%.
that's why I'm so grateful that we live in Nicaragua, because I have the ability to actually go to the factory, pick out the leaves that I want, and smoke it, and then be like, okay, I want a little bit more of Dominican with this Nicaraguan, or whatever it may be. Like, I have that ability to do that. So I'm 100% like that. These cigars that are coming out are me. They're absolutely 1,000% what I'm doing.
And I'm 0%. Just to be clear.
He's not joking.
You smoke them.
Well, it's just he's too busy being the man of the house.
Right.
Someone's
it's
got
a
to
big
take care of
job.
the pool. Someone's got to
It's a
take care of
big
the
job.
pool, you know, and supply the bar.
Gotta keep those machetes sharp.
That's right. He's got to train, like learn how to fence with those things.
Something.
And stuff.
Yeah, I look
So-
like it too, right? Totally.
Well, what I kind of dig is that when we're talking, especially with the boutique line, these are people whose lives are meshed into what they are producing. It's a manifestation of themselves and what their passions are. Like, don't get me wrong, I had a 20-year-old Macanudo from Dunhill the other night that was
Oh my
incredible. It was incredible, but I there's no connection. There's
No, there wasn't.
And that's like with pipes. It's I know the carver. I know the guy who made that pipe.
Right.
And there's that connection every time. It's like meeting an old friend. When we're talking with the boutique community, every person that has been on the show, and their blood, sweat, and tears are in what they are making. So if they take a loss, it's more than just a loss. So when you're talking about politics in this country and wanting to put the kibosh on what our passions are, they don't appreciate you're talking with people's lives.
Well, that's why we opened up with the show with 4 members of the Boutique Cigar Association in Washington, D.C. As we speak, they're going tomorrow to fight for our rights. It's like Kyle was saying, they're fighting for exactly family-owned businesses like yours.
I think I'm starting school year off with a cigar in class. What
I
do
think
think?
you should.
There you go.
For government
I
class,
think you should.
And you
like, I
have
want
to
you guys.
wonder, like, you have to wonder how we even got here, because they pushed cigarettes on us, like they were healthy for decades.
Whoa.
Well, the
and now,
Marlboro man is healthy. Okay. Or was.
And now the thing that's actually natural from the earth, can't do that. Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
What's crazy too is, like, people from the outside they just look at it as like, oh, tobacco, whatever, it's bad. But, you know, being in Nicaragua, we see how important the tobacco industry is. Like, these local communities, they're called these little, like,
The barrios?
they're called barrios, right? So it's like little areas, little communities of people that live in these certain areas. And when the tobacco is ready, these little barrios, all these people in these barrios, they come together and they go out in these tobacco fields and they just pick the leaves like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And what people don't realize is they wait their entire year or whatever off of when this tobacco is ready to be picked. Like, this is their only source of income. And, you know, and communities come together and they do this. And, you know, what's crazy is, like, you can't just have 1-2 people going into these fields and picking tobacco, because you're going to have 3/4 of that field is going to be shit. It's just going to be trash.
Yeah.
So entire communities have to come together to pick this tobacco at the right time. And it is literally floating so many people here and creating a livelihood that so many people are unaware of. And so when you have, like, some of these tobacco fields that are washed out by floods and stuff, like, it is absolutely detrimental here.
Wow.
Like, people cannot feed their families when that stuff happens. Like, you're in Nicaragua. This is about tobacco here. You cannot take this away from these people. This is all they've known. And they've done this for generations. Their skill is so perfected and so beautiful. You are not going to find that in other areas that do not have tobacco. Like, you cannot take this away. It's so much more than just cigars.
Well, and you have people, you know, in the States making decisions from their mansion, you know, whatever, you know. I mean, even if it's a nice small ranch home with a well manicured lawn, making decisions for people who are eking out a living with dirt floor homes with tin roofs. And, you know, they're already struggling to get by. If you jack that up, well, that's just not getting by. Now their kids aren't eating. They're not eating. Well, they're not eating first. Their kids and dogs are eating first. And then they're eating last. And, you know, when you start thinking about moms and dads who are choosing not to eat because their kids got to eat first, you change your perspective on a lot of shit.
I mean, that's real stuff. That's just not, you know, stories being passed down. That's real. Like, there's a kid in town that will always ask us for our leftover food. He doesn't ask for money, nothing. He literally knows that we will give him our leftover food and he will take the scraps from us. Like, you know, like pizza crust, whatever, he will eat it. Like that. I mean, and it's not just Nicaragua. You know, you have the Dominican Republic is the same way. These are not first world countries. These are third world countries that are creating these beautiful things for people in America. And for these assholes just to be like, oh yeah, take this off the table or whatever. No, like, this is horrible. You can't be doing this.
Exactly. Oh gosh, you know, it's really heartbreaking when the way you describe it of the lifestyle. You know, we know about it here. We're a spoiled country. Let's face it, we are. But when you hear the stories like you had just mentioned, you know, it kind of brings you down a little bit and say, wow, you know, there's a lot of people who need a lot of help. And with the FDA trying to shut down this industry, they don't realize how much damage they are doing throughout the world. You know, especially Central America, we know, but so many other countries, there's so many people involved in this industry, not just from picking the tobacco or planting. There's so many other avenues that, you know, just the labeling, the packaging, the marketing behind it, swag, who makes swag for it. It's endless of how it all ties in. And again, that's why tomorrow is such a big day in Washington, D.C. for this country to help third world countries and yourselves and smaller companies to survive. And this is survival.
And that's why we don't talk shit about, you know, other cigar makers, because, I mean, there's a million great cigars. You guys talked about it earlier. There's a bunch of great cigar makers of all sizes, right? And and there's a bunch of great cigars out there. It's not just ours. I mean, am I biased? Well, fuck yeah, I'm biased. But
you should be.
We need to be a family together because we have a bigger. I mean, the world's going to do it for an alien invasion, right? It's Independence Day for us in Washington. we have to band together and understand that, because I may not like, the dude from Placentia, say, just an example, but I may not like the dude, but you know what? I need him. And that's important because his voice might be louder than mine. And the guy he knows may have a louder voice than him, and so on. And together we can make it happen. But if we're fractured and separate, divided,
You can't do it.
Right.
Well, just like Tim said, it's a community, not just cigars. It's pipe tobacco also, and everybody involved. It's a very big community. All right. Yep. And that is what the fight is all about. And here in America, we have to make it political. We got to go and talk to our representatives to be our voice in there. We're bigger in numbers. Like you said, in your industry, you can't do it by one brand by itself. You have to join in. Even if you don't like that guy, he's still part of you one way or another to make you survive. And this is your livelihood. And you are one of many, many companies that rely on what you do, and you're all in. You guys are all in. There are a lot of guys out there, and I'm going to say boutique companies that are, they have another job or another company, and then they do this. You can't do this part-time and be successful. You have to be in it 100%. Everything you got to keep going back into your industry to help build a better lifestyle for yourselves down the road.
Right.
Hey, Bobby, quick shout out. 1938 Golden Flake cigarette.
Oh my God.
Sealed, fresh. Little bit. I mean, this is not a cigarette show, but when you can get a vintage cigarette,
it's
in a
older than
sealed
you, Bob.
tin,
It's older than you.
Did you get that?
Just saying.
Don't ask any questions. The lawyers are always listening. So, all right.
Well,
but again, this is like this. This is what the cigarette company lost their way when they started adding chemicals. You get a cigar now.
That's natural.
This is 100% natural. This is not. You open this tin, it sounds like you're opening up an air chamber.
Nice.
Well,
so
on a slightly different note, 2023 limited edition Revolt up in this bad beauty right here.
Okay,
So.
well, that's good one-upmanship there. He wins. You win. Okay, I'll go back over in my corner and smoke my vintage cigarette.
Let's move the camera a little bit. Frank and Bob, are you smoking that right now?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
I
we
smoked
are.
it down to nothing.
Frank finished his already. I'm kind of nursing it because I don't want to put it out.
Frank is a vacuum. We know that.
I mean, this was a fantastic cigar.
Very good.
And I smoked it way down to the nub. It didn't burn hot. It did everything that I would expect in a premium cigar and then some. So kudos, because this cigar is well worth it. Everyone should put one in, at least one in their humidor. I'd buy a box, but I'm sure the boxes are going to go flying off the shelves. I picked this up in Daytona Beach at Don Kiki Superstore.
Oh,
Burgers.
yeah, they're
so
new.
awesome.
They signed on at PCA.
Yep.
We're so thankful for that.
And they have a
Florida's
bunch
really
of
hard
your-
to get into.
Yeah, they have a bunch of your cigars, and I was very happy to see them.
Thank you.
Give them a big hug for us when you go.
We
in.
will. We will.
Tell them we appreciate them sincerely, because we do see, even though I didn't go to PCA, I saw who was new. I saw who was rebuying. I know those names. She knows those names, and they're not lost on us. They're not. It means a shitload to have that shelf space, because I know everybody's competing for it, and not everybody gets it.
Absolutely.
Not everybody deserves it either, but I tend to believe we do.
Nope, you do.
Nick, can you elaborate on the process of okay, so you bought the company. How do you get your sticks in your customers' hands? I mean, I'm used to big market. Okay, so these guys just walk into a cigar shop, and they 75% of the stock is provided by one brand market.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys get in on the market? I mean, I'm just curious.
So we do kind of play with the big guys, because we do have reps, and they are all over the United States. So basically they just hit up the rep for that territory, and they order the cigars. And we have some brokers as well, so they do more than just Oveja Negra. They do Placentia and whatever else. So it's actually very easy to get Dissident, because we do have all of that supplied right off the bat. So it's very simple. They just contact the rep, and they put the order in, and it goes. Like, you know, we're just here literally making the cigars and putting in the orders, and our phenomenal reps are the ones getting them into the lounges from our warehouse in New Jersey. So that's where everything gets shipped. All of our thousands of cigars go to New Jersey, and then from there.
Oh, where about in New Jersey?
What's that?
Where about in New Jersey? I'm from.
That's a good damn question. We haven't been to the warehouse yet, so I don't have that answer.
I'm pretty sure it's kind of around the Pennsylvania area, because I was supposed to actually go to the warehouse the last time I was doing that tour in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and all that.
Virginia, yeah.
And I didn't have the chance to go there. So I know it's like in that area.
It says it on the invoices, man. I don't like to look at those invoices. So
we got to work on getting you guys up here in Chicago.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that
guys-
yeah. I think we have one that's in Chicago.
Yeah, and one of
There,
our
yeah, the only one that you have is like on the very south side of Chicago in
Where?
Richton Park.
Yeah.
But you
Gotta
got
get 'em.
a
I got a
whole-
week left before I got to go back to work. Richmond Cup, there we come.
Richton Park.
One of our amazing reps is from Chicago.
don't go there at
Calvin.
night.
Amazing dude. So, you know, we have a stronghold there. We just got to get in. And you know,
If
those
you rob me, you're just
Chicago's
getting
a
practice.
legacy.
Okay, come on, I'm
legacy.
so broke.
Gotcha. No, definitely. I mean, you guys definitely are gonna. You know, you got some boots on the ground, and you're growing, which is fantastic. We're excited for you guys, big time.
Thank
And you know, in the short period of time that you guys have been involved yourselves, we can see that you're taking the company to another level. And the way things are looking, you guys are going to certainly make a big mark in this country overall, which is
I
going to
sure
be
hope
exciting.
so. That's our
Yeah.
goal.
Well, you got a
know,
good
that's
product.
hot.
When you have a good product, you're going to make it happen. And again, this is what you guys do. So are you guys at the factory like daily or so? I mean, is that,
No, we
you know,
go there like once every month to 2 months. It just depends on what we're working on. So we're well into 24, almost 25 on what we're coming out with.
Nice.
So when we go there, we try to do a minimum of blending one cigar, if not like 2, 3. It just really depends. It's about 4.5 hours from us.
Okay.
As the crow flies, it's not that far, but when you're in Chicago, everything takes time.
Yeah.
So-
If you had a freeway, we'd be there in 90 minutes.
Yeah,
Right.
but you're like battling
dirt roads,
oxen and
dirt
horses.
roads, and holes in the ground, potholes.
And you're a forerunner, you know.
Yes.
with a flashlight as your
Yeah.
headlights?
We don't drive in the dark here.
Drinking soup.
Drinking
Drinking soup.
That's awesome.
And roll, legit.
So you had a couple of lines for the PCA of 23. What do you got now? Because now the PCA is moved to March, and 24 is around the corner. Will you be doing another line for 24? Would you say?
You know, that's what's crazy is I know it's not just us, but that's put a lot of pressure on a lot of brands, I think,
Right.
because PCA is the one show where everybody tends to release their really good limited editions, and now we're on this tight schedule that we didn't even know was going to happen.
Right.
So we have cigars lined up already in the queue, and we're like, well, shit, like, are we going to have a cigar in time? Do we do this cigar instead? Because this cigar was originally planned for whatever.
Yeah,
so,
for July, you know?
Right.
Yeah, and so we don't know how that's going to work. I feel like there's going to be a lot of grace given for this upcoming PCA, because I don't know that it's odd. Like, we're not doing TPE because it's so close to PCA.
Right.
Exactly.
PCA.
Which is good because, you know, in a sense, you really shouldn't be mixing it up with the cannabis family and all that stuff. I mean, that's really one of the reasons with the vape and cannabis is where we are today with the FDA.
Right.
You know, they put us all in. And
the same thing.
what's that?
They're putting it in the same category.
Exactly. And that's the problem that, you know, that's the reason why, you know, so many people are going to be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow to fight on this behalf of, you know, cigars and pipe tobacco. It's there has to be a separation. There really has to be. And that's what is going to definitely happen.
And it's so fucked up because it's like we couldn't choose the more pain in the ass industries, right? firearms, alcohol, tobacco.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you want to know?
We're gluttons for punishment.
What helped us in the cigar industry is that we've actually done marketing for social media for the ATF world for many, many years. So we already knew how to do social media in this industry because, you know, when it comes to social media, you can't use firearm hashtags. You're gonna shadow ban. You know, same with cigars and whiskey and whatever else. And so we already knew how to work that because he's been doing it in the firearm industry for so many years. So like we still do marketing for other companies. We never drop that. Right. So that's one thing that we're very well versed in. And I'm very thankful for it because we know how to grow social media without the use of hashtags and all that stuff. I mean, he's the sole reason why Brownells is as big as they are on social media. I mean, it is him that is literally bringing millions to Brownells. Wow. So, I mean, like people that want to knock social media, like that's where we're at today. Like social media brings in a lot of money for people.
Yeah, it does.
Absolutely. It
can't survive without it.
No, not in this day and age.
Yeah. What do you want us to send out a mailer?
Right.
But it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Though
yeah.
Cigar industry still is kind of like that.
Yeah,
they do still expect things in the mail and emails. You may not hear back from them, but they do like that stuff because it is set back a number of years compared to other industries. I mean, ATF in general is set back many years compared to other industries. Right. So, I mean, it's kind of weird with that, but we've learned how to work it, and he's a genius when it comes to that stuff.
Oh, thank you, babe.
Well, so he's not just a man at a house. He really
it's
is
a Taster's
doing
Choice
something.
commercial.
Look at that.
This is Taster's Choice right
you know, we got to do some more marketing in them.
Also brings me to the point that if you guys knew when we bought Dissident, we actually, the first thing we released was a whiskey and not a cigar.
Because who gives a shit what the industry says you should do when you're a cigar company, right?
Right.
Dissident and release a fucking whiskey.
So is that whiskey still happening, or did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did it. Events only. That's how we. So if she does events, like if you do whatever the lounge is doing, you know, buy 5 get 1, buy 10 get 2, however all that works. You get in for the whiskey because it is a very limited run, all signed by Cynn, blended by our buddy Rob at Tenacity in Detroit, and you can get it that way. And the goal was like, sure, we can do hats and T-shirts and a cool swag bag and some other bullshit, but if you can get a bottle of whiskey and sit around with your buddies and drink that and have cigars and
how great is that?
Hell yeah.
That brings people together even more, which is what Dissident's about. I mean, if you look at the limited edition home, it's got a quote on the inside of the box, and it says, and I'm paraphrasing here because my memory's shit, but it says something like, if you feel like you don't belong, you belong with us.
Welcome home.
Nice.
And that's what it's about. Because people that walk into a lounge and they see the sea of gold and silver, you know, classic boxes and labels, and they're like, well, I don't know. If they see something that says, look, like you can be a part of this if you don't know where the hell you're going, and if the lounge sucks and doesn't talk to them and they're just picking, I hope that they pick that up because they're like, shit, these guys get me because they know that I don't know and they want me to be a part of this, and that's real. Like that's why she has people come up to her all the time in airports and at PCA and everywhere else just to talk, because that's what it's really about. I mean, if you're sitting in a lounge, what do? You light up a stick and you have a fucking conversation. That's what matters.
Exactly.
So I'd like to ask you one thing. You know, you guys are new to the show, so again, I don't know if you know what we do, but once a month we have a show of pairing. So a whiskey with a cigar. I would like to know if you guys would be interested in coming in on our 2024 show and doing your whiskey with one of your cigars with our co-host Joey Crazy Gulino there, you know, and he would love, because he's our whiskey guy, and maybe we can do a pairing show with you guys
would
with
be
one of your
awesome.
cigars.
Yeah, he does. He writes for the whiskey-network.net. So that show and that article, that pairing will go into an article which he writes, and that'll be on the magazine. So
I love that you guys just gave him a job. Like, I love that, like, he does this. Also, come do it, because he'll do it. He's going to do this.
Well, we got to set him up. You know, not too many people accept him in real life, but we do.
This isn't.
Are we bagging on Joey again?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This isn't a volunteer. This is a voluntold.
Valid. Yeah, we can make that happen.
Oh, that would be great. So well, we can talk, after party, get a little more into details, but that would be exciting. So when we put together our 2024 scheduling, we'll work what works best with you. What?
I gotta ask you guys a question.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, man.
Go ahead.
This is about their brand.
Okay.
So I'm just searching on your website, all right? And it shows that they're at Binny's.
Oh, you're at Binny's in Illinois?
No.
Dude, that's what it says.
Hold on.
It
Read
depends
the print.
on. I don't know.
That's only Black Label
There
trading.
you
That's
go.
not them.
That's toying with my emotions, man. Toying with my
got
emotions.
so excited,
My mom was gonna be proud. I wouldn't have to spend my allowance on other things.
big, Timmy. It's this big.
We're
Talking to
still
my girlfriend, Mom.
misogyny, but they're not quite there on Dissident.
I was about to have a freaking heart attack, man. But here in the United States, I could call an ambulance.
We got Don Kiki. Like, that just shows so much, just right there alone. I was like, hell yeah.
And I'll give another shout out to a Florida lounge, Don Poncho's, because I don't know if you guys are aware, but it's a small lounge run by a dog lover who's just an amazing human being. And anytime I talk to the dude, we never talk about cigars. We talk about dogs and music. So that's what it's about. Like,
and where's that located in Florida? Do you know?
Kissimmee, yeah.
Oh, that's near Frank and Bob.
A little south of where we are.
Okay.
Well, if you make the trip, go in there and make shit awkward and just give him a huge hug and be like, this is from the Coburns in Nicaragua because they love you.
And I want to say, too, actually, Neptune Cigars brought us on because they were doing
that's in Miami, right?
Yeah, and they were doing the thing with Maestro Cares, which is
Mark Anthony.
Yeah.
So they specifically contacted us to have our cigars with the Mark Anthony event.
Wow.
Which blew my mind.
Oh, that's awesome.
Everybody that was there for this celebrity Mark Anthony event, it was like a golf event. They were smoking Dissident Cigars. I was just blown away by that. I was like,
that's awesome.
And
to be clear, I definitely associate Dissident Cigars with Latino pop stars.
Yes.
You want to promote yourself a little more? Go ahead. This is your show. Go for it.
Don't expect him to speak Spanish because we have a guard down, we live at the top of this mountain, right? We're on an organic farm, and at the bottom there's a gate and a guard and everything. And I lost my shit because for those of you that don't know Spanish, buenos dias is good morning. Yes. Buenas noches is good night. We came in late one night and the guard opened the gate and Josh was like, buenos dias. So English. And it was nighttime. And I was just like, oh my God. He's like, buenos dias. And so proud of himself. And I'm like, it's night. Josh, it's night.
There's some words we should tell him. That's awesome. Congratulations on Spanish. It's all good. It's all good. Well, listen, we're going to hold it up there. We're going to go to our next sponsor break. And Frank, there's two things. Announce the new monthly giveaway to our crowd.
Yes.
And then explain to them about Stump the
Chooch.
And
I'll
that's
explain a little bit about Stump the Chooch. And Josh, you missed our little pre-show explanation.
I'm already scared of this.
That's right. It's basically a little trivia section, a little bit of history, and I ask everyone there a question and see if you guys can figure it out. If not, it usually is this type of answer. And that is the hardest working animal on a farm, by the way. So, so it's not that bad, but we do that. And weekly we'll do like giveaways. And some folks will say, hey, we got a sampler pack or something that we can give. Is there anything that you can give a winner who may win that today? Is there?
I'll give them a bottle of our Dissident whiskey.
Whoa!
$50 value.
Wow.
Hold on. So
hold on.
I'm off the show right now. I'll be back.
I was gonna say I get to play, right?
You'll never get it right anyway, Jerah. So who are you kidding?
Oh! Hey, we just saw the red dot on Frank's head.
Definitely a closed casket now,
Yeah,
folks.
definitely a closed casket.
And with that note, we go to our sponsors.
Cigar in the Bottle is 2 palate-pleasing gifts in 1. A specially blended Grand Pommier XS VSOP Cognac is elegantly contained in patented numbered bottles. Winner of back-to-back-to-back medals at the LA Spirits Awards, Cigar in the Bottle inventor Forbidden Johnny teams up with Vartan and Hendrik Kellner for this custom-blended Vartan Reserva cigar, well-preserved in a hand-blown glass chamber featuring Bovita two-way humidification.
At Norwood Royal Cigars, we have the biggest walk-in humidor in the Midwest. Our 1,500 square foot humidor is home to almost 4,000 different cigars that will meet the need of any cigar enthusiast. We have boutique blends to the more traditional selections and everything in between. From the novice beginner to the aficionado, the knowledgeable staff at NRC will find the perfect cigar for you. Located on the northwest side of Chicago, we want to be your shop for all your cigar wants and needs. As always, at Norwood Royal Cigars, light it, smoke it, love it.
Experience the magic of Rockefeller cigars today. With 11 years steeped in tradition, passion, and mystery of the leaf, Rockefeller has a cigar just for you. Be like the greatest magicians and make Rockefeller cigars appear in your lineup with any of our 4 lines. The Nicaraguan, the Dominican Blue, the Vintage Gold, and our new LE, the Art of Magic.
Over the Rhine Premium Cigars is located in the heart of Cincinnati, 50 yards south of historic Findlay Market. We offer both known brands and the finest boutique cigars available. Feel free to bring your favorite beverage and relax in Dude Daycare, where dudes of all genders are welcome. We look forward to serving you at Over the Rhine Premium Cigars. And we are a proud member of the Boutique Cigar Association.
All begins at the very first climate-controlled Rodriguez Olivan cigar factory located in the Dominican Republic. Our 2 major brands include Don Olivan, which are boutique cigars suited for that individual who takes great pride in something unique. BAMF is our armed forces cigars designed for that badass mother effer. Not only are you smoking a great premium cigar, a percentage of the proceeds is donated to our heroic men and women in uniform.
We are back.
We are back, folks.
We almost caught Jerah napping there. I mean,
we did. I know. She was, well, either that or she was using an alias. She created a brand new
whiteboard. That's a whiteboard.
Is that a whiteboard?
Oh no, okay. I thought that was a whiteboard.
No, she's taking notes. She has a running hit list of like who gets the next shot.
Frank is dead.
There we go. Yeah,
kill Frank. What? Frank and Kyle are on the dead board. Oh,
Listen.
hey, Bobby, you and I still alive. We're good.
No.
I would just say, get in line. Get in line.
I don't want to get in
please.
that line.
Get in
Anyway,
line.
so Frank, tell again the 2 items that are coming up, our monthly and our weekly.
Frank?
Yes, our monthly.
Correct.
Yes, I was very busy, Ron. I'm very busy.
You're a busy guy.
Coordinating it. But our monthly prize, every end of the month, folks, brought to you by our friends at Reminisce Angus Beef, a bottle of gorgeous vodka, and Cattle Baron Cigars, a sampler pack. Wonderful folks there. You've got Brian Massard and his wife who takes care of the vodka end of the business. True ranchers and amazing people. So that will happen after the Chooch segment. So, folks, that'll be the last thing that we give away, and it will be a number between 1 and 25.
G. The answer is
25.
G.
Yes. And
So
Orlando,
I
you
will
say
let
can't
you know.
play because he
I
doesn't
said
drink.
he's already disqualified.
Yeah, he doesn't drink, he said.
He doesn't drink.
That's cracking me up. That reminds me of the old Man Cow in the Morning Chicago show.
The answer is C.
You know what's up.
Yeah, man.
Uh-oh, he
Damn
said
straight.
Chicago. What do you know of Chicago?
Well, I've spent my time at the Vic Theater. I spent a lot of
yeah,
time.
man.
If you're a punk rock and metal
Fuck
guy,
yeah.
where do you go?
Oh, okay.
That in the
And
Aragon
Des Moines
Brawl
wasn't
Room.
exactly a hotbed for punk and metal for years.
man.
So I'd make my trek over to the Vic Theater and
Nice.
catch Typo Negative and Henry Rollins and all
Oh
those.
yeah.
Oh, listen to this young guy.
Well,
Young guy.
He sounds very young now.
10 years older than you, man.
Oh, before 20 years of this, 19 years of that, I'm calculating the numbers. I said, geez, what is this guy, 80? Now he's talking like he's only 8. I mean, you know.
Well, we were talking about the Clash, and now we're talking what,
Yeah, man.
90s and some like mid 80s. So, you know,
The Warehouse.
I'm all that.
The Warehouse was the best place to go see a show.
See, and I never got to the Warehouse, and there's another famous Chicago landmark venue that I never hit. And Mastodon did a live record from there, and I can't remember what it is now, but
It's probably
I
the Brawl Room, the Aragon Brawl Room.
Aragon, that's
Aragon,
right.
yeah.
And I never
Yeah,
made it
man.
out there either.
Never once at
Don't
Aragon.
worry, I
huh?
got carried out of that place.
I bet you were.
times.
What about New York City? You ever been down there in New York City? Where any of the
I've been to
clubs?
New York.
BBGBs, man.
Well, CBGB's I didn't get to. I was late.
Ah.
They had just closed. I
Well-
stood out in front of the what is it, like a fucking clothing store or some shit?
Now it is, yeah. Now it is.
But trust me, I'm aware. Like the fact that Television and Blondie and the fucking Ramones came out of there. Like,
Yeah.
and some of my favorite bands played there. Like the fact that bands like Brides of Destruction and Superjoint Ritual played shows there. Like they should have been selling out, 3,000 seaters, but they're playing to 110 people in that place. Come on.
You guys will have a whole other show with music.
That's it.
All right. You know,
I'm liking this guy. I'm liking him.
Stay after the after party, after the show. Stay on, and then we can talk about that. All right, Frank, take it away.
All right, folks, I'm going to bring you back on this very special day in history. Today, in 1917.
Cállate, cállate.
Look at their faces. Look at their faces. Their jaw dropped.
Nothing from Jerah. She
Yeah.
basically shut her mic off on purpose.
She
Because
blocked you,
knows.
Frank.
No.
She's
Yes, she
blocked
did.
you.
She did.
She just wrote Frank
I knew it
3 times over. Dead.
Look it up, Frank.
This exotic dancer is sentenced to execution.
Mata Hari.
There we go.
Wow.
Mata Hari. There you go.
What? Hot spy, bro. I mean,
That's
telling
right. She was
you, every
fine.
Irishman's nightmare and dream.
That's right.
I would say if she was alive today, she'd be the future Miss X Tim Garrity.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
And we're talking to a history teacher, so,
So in 1921, on this date in history, this group
Grandfather went to jail.
are now taunting U.S. authorities by sitting outside of the 3-mile limit with flags and signs saying, "Come and get it." At night, they disappear under cover of darkness to areas not patrolled, and small fishing boats unload the cargo and deliver the booze back to shore. What is this group called?
The mob.
Sounds like the Kennedys.
Yeah, it could be the Kennedys.
Sounds like the Kennedys.
Joe Kennedy led the way on that one.
It's
My kind of bootleggers.
Yeah.
they were the Rum Runners.
The Rum Runners.
There you
Yeah,
go.
they were holding up a bottle of rum. I could have given you a clue, but I didn't.
Yeah. no,
Yes, he did. You're right. You're right.
All right. This is a very important one, Bob.
Okay.
On this day in history in 1956, right around the time you were born.
Yeah.
This ocean liner was struck by the Stockholm in
Andrew Doria.
There we go. The Andrea
look at
Doria.
Tim,
Look
boy.
at Tim.
Jesus.
First of all,
who invited
can
this
we
guy?
can we get the history teacher off the show?
I agree. Second that.
Kyle, would you mute him a little bit?
He's muted.
He's muted. You
Yeah.
can't hear him no more.
He's lost mic privileges.
This next one is for the audience.
For the audience.
This next
For the audience. So this is for a bottle of whiskey.
We need to mute the guys.
That's right. Well, this is for the bottle, so he's muted. He can't speak. So,
We can't answer. This is for the lovely audience right now. For them. There you go.
in 1978, she gave birth to the world's first test tube baby in vitro fertilization, delivered by cesarean section in Oldham, England, by Dr. Patrick Steptoe and Dr. Robert Edwards. Who is she?
So this question is within 4 years of my birth. I'm impressed.
Yeah, and Madonna is not the answer.
Mother of Guadalupe. No.
I'm nodding because I can't answer, but it appears that I know.
All right.
Okay.
So, first of all, Chris said Luis Brown. Chris, no. Ben Irwin says Luis Brown. No, and none other than the person who knows how to spell. It's Leslie Brown. So Mr. Bruce Sparks.
Oh.
Nice.
And by the way, Bruce, your package finally went out yesterday, so I sent you the information.
Jerah had wrote down Bob's mom. That's awesome.
Hey, Jerah, you know, if it was Bob's mom, it was also Ron's mom. You understand this? Right?
Hey, wait, hold on. Let me ask you something. Wait, okay? Does the salad thing with Ronnie come from your mom or your dad?
Don't touch Ronnie's salad.
It comes from a combination of both. What can I tell you? But you can have the tomatoes. I don't eat the tomatoes or the cucumbers.
I don't know what's happening, but I feel like I need like a cold shower and some tears.
So here's the thing. We gotta tell them the story really quick because they need to know this if they're ever like somewhere with you and there's food. You don't take up Ronnie's salad ever. He eats it. He eats
That
it
is so
from the
loaded of a
salad
statement,
course
man.
through the and don't toss it.
No,
Okay? Like, you
the
don't toss
salad
Ronnie's
goes
salad.
throughout the entire meal.
Yeah,
It's the
because
whole
he
meal.
keeps the salad through the whole meal.
that's
You can't take it up. It doesn't
Right.
matter if there's one arugula left on it.
This is
It
true.
stays the whole meal until dessert happens. And you have to warn people ahead of time because these poor servers will try to take the salad plate. And he's like, no.
They almost
I
lost
want
their
it.
arm. They almost lost their arms.
What's
Yeah.
the
It was
dressing,
bad.
though?
What's that?
What is the dressing?
I'm an oil and vinegar guy. I like oil and vinegar.
They
You
do
know,
have that in Nicaragua. We can't get ranch, so whenever I'm in the States, it's ranch everything.
can we send you ranch? I can send you a bottle of ranch. I, mean,
Oh.
I don't know what kind
You
of
would
condition
get-
it would be in.
You would get 10 bottles of whiskey for a bottle of ranch, Karen.
Sold. Give me your address. I'll be out tomorrow.
Sold.
It's got to be hand delivered, and I'm not bullshitting. If you show up, if you message like, bro, I got my suitcase.
And
Tell
ranch.
me where the fuck you live. It's full of ranch. We'll load you up with whiskey as we're eating the ranch.
All
I'm
right.
not
So
bullshitting.
when I come to the guard, do I say Buenos dias?
Yes, you do.
And he'll let me in.
Yes.
All right.
I'll
All
make
right.
it work.
No, you
I'll
have
be
to
like-
say it. You have to say Buenos
Yeah.
Diaz.
Yes.
Buenos dias.
Yes.
What can I
Yo
do?
me llamo Ron.
Yeah.
Diaz.
If you say Buenos dias, mi hermano, male or female, doesn't matter. They'll think that you know your shit.
I'll try that. You know, it's just the price of going to Nicaragua is going to cost a lot more than 10 bottles of whiskey.
And you've got people in the audience here. They're just chiming in. They're sending ranch now. They're sending ranch. They want their whiskey.
Well, it sounds to me like we need a dissident ranch.
Ask and ye shall receive. Okay, like if you need, young lady, if you need groceries, we will send you some.
Well, the thing is, there's no delivery services here that really work. So there's no like mail system or anything.
There's
so you
hand
gotta
delivery.
Show your shit up.
Wow.
You gotta show up.
All right, I
Really?
used to work for the
Not
post
even
office.
DHL?
I'll be over there.
Not
No
even
DHL, no FedEx, no UPS.
No, we don't
they
even
brought
have
me-
an address. In fact, so James and Angela Brown that own Oveja Negra, where they live, they get to say this cool thing like 20 meters from Jesus because there's a big Jesus statue here, right? We get to say 50 meters from the fucking grocery store.
And to be clear, the grocery store means like 1, 2, 3, 4 aisles of one choice of everything.
We're like 50 meters from Cali, and they're like 10 meters from Jesus. I'm like, how cool is that address? We can't even get that address.
I didn't even know that.
So do you guys grow your own food then, I guess, on your property? Just
Yeah, so the farm that we live on, yes, they grow
Okay.
just about everything.
Oh,
Gotcha,
nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's
Good.
pretty
It's fully
awesome.
self-sustaining.
Oh, that's really good.
Very
That's
cool.
really
awesome.
good.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
That's how I maintain my svelte figure.
We get more than one.
You want me to hold that?
Well, I can't see the figure behind the beard, so if you have to lift the beard up, we can get to see the real
Right.
thing.
Well, you know, there's secrets hidden behind that beard, so I don't.
That's the entrance. That's the entrance to Narnia.
Well, I have a couple close friends that are also fairly bearded, and anytime I see them and give them a hug, I always tell them, like, dude, we're going to create a vortex if our beards touch.
Dangerous stuff.
Tangled web.
He's pulled out a lot of things.
Hoffa's in that thing.
All right, Frank, let's
All
get
right,
to the
go for it,
giveaway
Frank.
for the next
This is another
monthly
big one.
giveaway.
Yes. Okay. So it's for this, folks. A beautiful bottle of gorgeous vodka and a sampler pack of Cattle Baron cigars.
The answer is C.
So,
Yeah, Orlando
Ready?
says he wants the bottle because it reminds him of a woman.
So this is the number I'm thinking of, folks. Put in your answers now.
Now.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Wow, look at it light up.
Look at the board light up.
17.
7,
9,
9,
16, 15.
4, 13, 17, 61, 11.
61 is not up to 25.
That's got to be Joey.
It was my uniform number. I played baseball, so that's your clue. If you knew me back then.
If the answer isn't 6
Wait a minute.
13, it's valid.
Joshua Rivas. He said 12. Let me turn this.
Oh! Mr. California.
Rivas is a city right near us, which is crazy.
Oh.
And you're only 100 meters from there, right?
That's right.
Yeah, right, something like that.
So 100 meters from Rivas. Got it.
So while we have Josh Rivas on, Josh will let you know your package has been mailed. So I hope the bottle doesn't break. Just saying. You should be getting it maybe tomorrow or Thursday. It's been a while. I know. Sorry. I hate the post office.
Wait to see how long this one takes.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. That's a great
Ron,
question.
you gotta send me his address.
He's
and
sending it
information.
Donkey Express.
Frank, I'm going to put it on the chooch. He'll get it there. Don't worry about
So
it.
an important thing, folks, you want to make sure you check out our promos. You can get free jerky. Make sure you enter. It's real easy. You click on the link. It's in our Instagram posts. Click on the link. It'll take you to reminisceangusbeef.com. You order a pack of jerky, put in the promo code, and you get a free bag of jerky as well. They've got great products from
Excellent
beef,
stuff.
all
Yeah.
kinds of
Really
flank
good.
steaks, hamburgers, You name it, they've got it, and it's quality meat. It's beautifully marmalized.
Marmalade.
Oh, Frankism. Drink.
Marmalade or marbleized beef from Montana. So it's going to be great.
It is delicious.
Orlando Perez says he got the barbecue beef jerky, and it's great. It is good jerky.
It's very good.
Good. Excellent.
All right,
Excellent. All right. Well, again, Josh, Cynn, I hope you can stay on. We'd love to bullshit with you a little bit more off air. So stick around a little bit. Folks, hey, I hope you had a great time tonight. We had a lot of fun and laughs. You learned a little bit about an amazing new cigar line. We're going to call it new because it's new for you guys, and you're going to have a fantastic future. I can see it now. But we want to thank you all for joining us. And next week, we're going to have the one and only Sage Patel. And he is a character in itself.
Not Sage, Ron. Sanj.
Drink, Ronnieism.
All of a sudden, he's become an herb.
All right, Mr. Patel himself from New Jersey. All right, he'll be on, and we're gonna have a lot of laughs with him because we had him the other night, and great guy. So everybody, have a great one. We will see you next week. Jerah, how you holding up over there? Your hair holding up okay? The humidity getting to you?
Yeah, I mean, check on your curly-haired friends. That's all I'm trying to say. You know, and it's
awesome.
It's like
everybody.
I like it, Jerah.
Oh, yeah. You look like wild and crazy lady for sure.
She's got that beach hair. Everyone wants that beach hair.
Yeah, it does.
I want hair in general.
With no beach. I'm gonna have beach hair. I want the beach.
There you go. All right, everyone.
Send me, or their pool.
Yeah.
Well, their pool with the bar in it. And the cigars in the pool.
Yeah, the 1800 cigars. The 1800 cigars, that's not many.
That's right.
That too.
No, that'll be done in a week for sure. All right, folks. Again, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week. From all of us to all of you, thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Au revoir. Buenos
Tell my brothers to line them up. We'll drink that whiskey from those old dirty cups. We'll toast to the present, the future, and the past. This ain't my first drink, but I sure it ain't my last. 'Cause this world is so beautiful. I see its love come shining through. This world is so beautiful. I feel its love come shining through. This world is so beautiful.